You suck.
Lomba mia bimba. The boy has no skills.
The Dead Space Remake is a survival horror game developed by Motive Studio and published by Electronic Arts. Those who have played the original game before know that the story follows Isaac Clarke and the other crew members of the Kellion as they approach the Ishimura in a repair vessel, as the Ishimura had recently gone silent and Isaac had received a distress call from his girlfriend, Nicole Brennan. Once they get there, they find out almost immediately that they have bit off more than they can chew, and this quickly turns into a fight for survival.
Another malfunction?
No. The quarantine systems are all fine.
Oh, wait. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, man?
Take it easy. Daniels, get those elevators running.
There's something in here with us.
Up there!
Uh-oh. So I was never able to play the original Dead Space game in 2008. I have watched a few playthroughs, but I wasn't able to experience it myself, which has always been a regret of mine since I do love horror games. So I was happy when they finally announced this remake so I could finally play it for the first time and experience what everyone else had been talking about. And thankfully, I was not disappointed. The atmosphere and sound design in this game is incredible. You will always have to be listening as enemies can pop out from anywhere, and because of this, every little sound will have you on edge, even if it ends up being nothing, and that is the sign of a fantastic horror game. A game that has you on edge even when nothing is happening. What adds to the atmosphere is the Ishimura looks fantastic, with updated graphics and a few tweaks as necessary, such as the tram system, where now you can get around faster to different parts of the ship, which will be more important as you go deeper into the game as you get higher level of clearance. Also, the free roam, zero gravity flight mechanics. While in the original game you have to jump from area to area, in this game you can float around freely, and to me that is a much better experience as it puts the player more in control. The enemy designs here are also great, from the basic necromorphs to the acid-shooting babies to the creepy twitching type enemies. They are all great. What the fuck? Sir, I'm gonna need you to take a fucking chill pill, okay? I'm gonna need you to calm right the fuck down, because I don't got time for your twitchy shit, okay? Thank you. The way you can cut body parts off from the creatures is awesome, and it's important here because cutting off the limbs is a big part of Dead Space and the best way to take the creatures down compared to headshots that you would normally see in games like this. To do this limb cutting, you will run into a handful of weapons throughout the world that Isaac can use, from the classic plasma cutter to the Ripper. You will also find upgrades to the weapons in various places throughout the map, and at shop stations that you can then install at workbenches to upgrade your guns and your armor with nodes you also find in wall cabinets around the map. The rest of the gameplay is also very good and gives you some alternative ways to take down enemies, such as using stasis on explosive containers and pretty much force throwing them at enemies, and also use that same stasis to slow down enemies, which allows you to shoot where you need to, as some enemies are more easily taken down by shooting them in the back, and they will never show you their back, so you better use that stasis. The sound design here is also good. All the creatures and guns sound incredible, and those creature sounds really add to the atmosphere that I talked about before. What are you? Sir? Hi! Hi, I don't want any. Sir, this is a Wendy's. But the ship and the sound design wasn't the only thing upgraded in this game, as Isaac's story is even more fleshed out with side missions and audio files that add more to his character and his girlfriend. So even though the plot is mostly the same as the original, there is still more detail sprinkled throughout the game that allows you to learn more about Isaac's upbringing and connect more with his character. What also helps you connect more with Isaac is the fact that in this game, he can talk. While in the original game he is a silent protagonist, in this game he has conversations back and forth with his crew instead of just silently taking orders like in the original, which I personally prefer. In the end, Dead Space was in 2008 and still is here everything that Callisto Protocol should have been, but wasn't. A very immersive action horror game with creepy elements that keeps you on edge while still being fun and switching things up to always keep the game entertaining. I loved almost everything about this game. Even when I was at my most frustrated with certain parts of the game, I always had a great time and wanted to keep seeing what big boss or what new enemy I would encounter next. And that is why I am giving the Dead Space Remake a 9 out of 10. This is how remakes should be done, and I'm happy that EA and Motive Studio delivered on this classic. If you haven't played the original, I would highly recommend playing this game, and even if you have played the original, it is worth checking out because of all the improvements that have been made, and to just see the Dead Space world at this scale with these incredible updated graphics and detail. But what did you think of the Dead Space remake? Let me know in the comment section below. But that is going to do it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.